An e-learning course in 12 steps. Looking at all the things that are involved in creating an e-learning course could make you feel like your first step should be to give up. However, with these 12 steps, we break down the process into manageable chunks, which is a big part of what makes for good e-learning course design. Not so bad, right? Read through these steps and soon you will have a good handle on what is needed and where to start to create your first e-lesson courses. 1. Start with why. Do a need analysis. Contrary to popular belief, deciding we need e-learning because everyone else is doing it is not really the first step to start. Managers ought to this problem by expecting things to just get done or to just do it. Many times they see assessing needs before implementing as a waste of time and value speed in development over all else. Starting an e-learning course based on assumptions is a sure way to fail though. The first step to creating an e-learning course is in fact defining why does your audience need this training and what it is you want to achieve with this e-learning, because otherwise how will you know if you are reached your goal? A need analysis makes sure you aren't going training just for the sake of the training. The need analysis can range from a simple interview to broader, more in-depth data collection method that includes looking at past training, desired results, and the current state of your workforce. The results of this analysis become your plan for design and what you hope to get your learners to achieve, because now you know what they actually need versus just guessing or assuming. It will also show gaps in current training and how you can close the breach and get the results. This also prevents you from throwing e-learning at a problem it cannot solve. E-learning is perfect for addressing gaps in skills or knowledge, but it's typically not an effective cure for lack of customer satisfaction or a job design problem. By analyzing first, you rule out these other issues and get to the heart of the problem faster than if you have gone on assumption. Make sure you have asked yourself these questions before continuing to the next step. What are they? Question number 1. What problems or challenge is this e-learning going to overcome? What do we hope to achieve with e-learning? What outcome do we expect? And third question, how will it help the organizations or your client meet their business goals? Know your audience. Writing a course entirely in Arabic to a group of people just beginning to learn Arabic is not an effective way to teach. This might sound like an extreme example of an e-learning designer not knowing their audience, but consider the fact that this is really no different than teaching a beginning JavaScript course but including advanced terms with no explanation of them. Designers often go into a project treating their audience with a one-size-fits-all approach in order to get the information out quickly. This, however, ignores your audience's technical capabilities, existing knowledge, how they will use the knowledge you are giving them, and their basic demographics. If a business has low interest in their training programs from employees, it is often the case that the courses are too difficult or too easy to or completely irrelevant to the employees' jobs. By knowing your audience first and learning what they already know and need to know, you can create better, more useful content. Content analysis. Create the right content for the right audience. Once you have determined why training is needed and who your audience is, it's time to analyze your content. It won't matter how good your course is designed if the content you are sharing does not have value for your audience. This is why this step is so important. You have to take the problems you defined in point 1 and find information that addresses it specifically. To do this, we analyze the content and break it down into categories and types, like categories declarative, procedural, and situated. Types like fact, concept, process, procedures, principles, interpersonal skills, and attitudes. Structure. Defining these categories and types also let us see how the information is interconnected and how important each piece. What category is most relevant, information gaps, and how information should be arranged. Learning objectives. Starting out on your e-learning journey without defining the information or skills that you want your learners to obtain by the end is like setting out on a road trip without a destination. While this might make for the neat setup for an Indian film about four friends trying to find themselves, this really does not work for e-learning. So what is a learning objective? It is an expected outcome of each lesson or unit, and overall what you want your learners to be capable of by the end of it. They also break down the content from step 3 to more manageable chunks that can be applied to modules with the overall course. During this step, we as designers have the job of asking questions and considering both the desirable and undesirable result of the course. Then we write our objectives based on the final desired results. Start by picking 3 to 4 objectives. Now make sure your content does not wander too far away from these objectives. Creating the relevant learning objectives can be a big challenge. And before we accept the challenge, we have to make sure these are set under the SMART criteria. What is SMART criteria? SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time sensitive. Specific in the sense, make sure you can answer the question, who are my learners? What will be accomplished? Measurable. Can we measure or observe the progress of the objective? If not, then it does not make a good objective. Achievable. Make sure that your goals cannot only be measured but that they can be achieved. This means setting realistic goals for realistic time frames and available resources. Relevant. A good objective must make sense for your target audience. Make sure you know why the objectives are necessary and what their impact will be to ensure they are worth the time and efforts. Time sensitive. Can learners accomplish this by the end of the course? If not, then it is not reasonable or worth considering. Define your instructional design plan. Now, it's a time to decide on your instructional strategy. This strategy is a process or approach by which your course is going to be developed to engage the learners. There are a variety of approaches e-learning designers can take, including storytelling, discovery learning, situational learning, and several others. This infographics guide is a great tool to learn about the primary instructional strategy. When deciding on a strategy, think about the type of the content. How can I best teach a fact versus a concept? A procedure versus an interpersonal skills? Impact. What is the best way to make this training meaningful and relevant? Objectives. How can I ensure each trainee will master the objective? 6. Storyboard and your content. A storyboard is a rough visual outline that helps map out how text, pictures, and other elements will look on a page. This will help you see how your page will look before you waste time putting together the final design only to find out the elements don't fit together, right? However, before you start it on the design phase, make sure your content has been approved. There is no reason to include content in your planning if your client or team leaders might end up telling you not to use it. Your technology. When determining what authorizing tools and learning management systems you should use, look at reviews from other designers, available features, cost, and what is best for your organization. There is not one tool that works for everybody. Needs vary from one company to another or one educational institutions to another educational institution. Also, just look at these aspects to get yourself thinking about what is right for your company. How many people will be accessing the program at one time? The average, the maximum. Is your hardware, including servers, database, and computers, up to implementing the technology? That means your hardware, servers, database are up to date, up to the latest technology. Will the course be accessed on the company's devices, or will each learner be using their own? Are there required applications to be installed? Does your company have enough bandwidth to run the course? What is your plan for backing up information and security? How will you maintain your server? What kinds of support system will you offer the end users? Prototyping. Now, it's a time to build a working prototype. That is, a prototype of a module from your course to make sure it actually works. A prototype defines the representative look and feel and functionality of the entire course. Like we can tell, in other words, a trial version. It also is used to test out technical functionality. This allows e-learning designers to create and discard multiple versions quickly to get the best fit before wasting too many resources on designing the whole course, then finding out something does not work. Create the course. Once you have your prototype approved, it's time to start designing the actual course. During this process, you need to keep an eye on the original objectives and problems to ensure the course as a whole is geared towards solving these. You also need to determine a design method that meets the needs of learners. Professional e-learning designers use different models. Some of the most popular models are ADDIE, SAM, Gagne's Nine's Principle, and Action Mapping, among others. Publish. Take feedback and comments from your team and clients, make corrections as needed, then start publishing. Number 11. Promote your course internally and externally. Why do your learners need your course? How will they find it? You know that your course can help them, but now they need to know about it. It's time to promote the market. To do this, focus on the benefit to your learners to get them invested in the learning journey. Promotion should be part of your development plan, and your very first slide should engage your audience from the start. Creating an internal promotion plan will save you the headache of creating an awesome course only to find out nobody is taking it. And measure and evaluate the results. Determine how effective your course has been by asking your learners, that is, getting the feedback. This will help you figure out what you did right and what you can improve on it in the future. To determine this, if this can be achieved, many users Kirkpatrick's 4-level of evaluation that will be explained in another video. You will also look at such factors as return on investment, cost, and performance. To get the best idea of your key performance indicators, you should involve the management team and stakeholders. That's all from this video. I feel you like the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for continuous support. Thank you.